Hello and welcome to this awesome Electronic Cafe Celebrates episode. In this particular episode, we're celebrating, well, not just one of my favourite albums, but one of my favourite bands, and the mighty Low Life by New Order. What an album. It's the third studio album to be released by New Order, released on the 13th of May 1985.
Low Life was produced by New Order, and it came 2 years after the brilliant Power, Corruption and Lies. Why not check out our episode on that one too? And this album reached number 7 in the UK album charts and criminally only number 94 in the US Billboard charts.
It's considered to be among the band's strongest work. The trouble is they've done so much stuff that is strong, but it's really displaying the moment. I think they completed their transformation from kind of post-punk holdover to kind of dance rockers, is that the right word?
Not only did the album contain the singles The Perfect Kiss and Subculture, but it also contained the brilliant album tracks, the American country folk-tinged Love Vigilantes, and one of my favourite ever New Order songs, the instrumental Elegia. The original version was over 17 minutes long, but edited down to 4 minutes 56 for the album.
The album shows New Order's increased use of synths and samplers, but it still preserves some of the rock elements of their earlier work. The songs in this album form the basis of the band's live concert video, Pumps Full of Drugs, filmed in Tokyo, just shortly before the album's release. The album artwork actually is quite interesting. It's the only New Order release to feature photographs of the band members on its cover. According to Peter Saville, the well-known designer, the decision to do this was due to him growing tired of his previous concept covers. So to photograph the band, Saville took portraits of them with instant film. I'm not a photographer, but I just saw that he saw this as more versatile than conventional 135 film.
Low Life was the deliberate statement of their transition that made sure everyone was aware that there would never be a reincarnation of Joy Division, the post-punk past of the previous records, and Low Life was a springboard building on their genre-hopping brilliance of the band's fusion of rock and electronics.
The album was preceded by the release of the full-length version of The Perfect Kiss as a single, because there was only an edited version that appears on the album. John Robbie's remix of Subculture was also extended as a 12-inch single. Both of these extended versions eventually ended up on 1987's Substance.
Brilliant and pivotal, and I feel a defining moment when the quartet became New Order and not that band that used to be Joy Division.
John Bush of AllMusic wrote that Low Life was in every way the artistic equal of New Order's previous album, Power, Corruption and Lies, as well as the point where the band's fusion of rock and electronics kind of became seamless. David Quantick was writing in Uncut at the time. He felt that Low Life was the first New Order album that sounds like an album with Bernard Sumner's most human lyrics, complementing Gillian Gilbert and Steve Morris's pop axis, and obviously Hookie's breathtaking bass performances. In 2000, Q Magazine placed Low Life at number 97 on the list of the 100 greatest albums ever. Now, let's put that into perspective. Think about how many millions of albums have been made. For any album to get in the top 100 is, to me, this is something very special. And Low Life was also included in the book 1001 albums you must hear before you die. If you haven't heard it, you need to. It's, I mean, for me, New Order can do no wrong. One of the greatest bands, formed from my favourite band of all time, Joy Division. Yeah, check it out. Happy anniversary, Low Life. Stunning piece of work. I can't believe it's 40 years old. God, I'm feeling old when I do these. But it needs to be celebrated. So check it out if you haven't heard it before. And if you know it and love it, maybe dust it down and give it another airing just to remind you why you loved it in the first place.
Well, I saw just so brave.